Hi, chat. How is everybody? Can you hear, share? Hold on. There we go. Now try talking.
We are going to give you all some cursed thoughts today.
Yay!
Good night.
The gray one and the orange one. I'm silver, not gray. I feel offended. Also, hi, Sven.
She got that long Furby. Yeah, I got that long Furby. I came prepared for all of you.
Hello, welcome. Welcome to today's first episode of Sleepless Thoughts. I am here with my wonderful cohort, Cher.
Cursed, what is it? Cursed coordinator?
Yeah. We're cursed coordinators.
Or coordinating cursed thoughts.
We're gonna see which one, not really which one is cursed the most, but just like, we're told not to express our cursed thoughts to some people, and we needed an outlet. So this is our outlet.
Holy Spirit, activate.
Oh no.
Holy Spirit, activate. Holy Spirit,
We are just going to be
activate.
fucking all
Activate.
y'all's days up.
Activate.
Uh-huh.
All right, let's go.
So, we're just chatting, hanging out, curse thoughting. Would you like to start, Cher, with a curse thought?
Yes, we can actually do the one I did today.
Yay!
So this one was like, it was between cursed and like slightly spooky.
Ooh.
The Holy Spirit. Okay, so I was thinking about like Discord statuses earlier today, and I was thinking about like, oh man, sometimes like when you're trying to like be on Discord and if you're on your phone, it shows you like a little green phone icon, but if you're like regular on Discord, it's just like all those notifications, and everyone always has themselves one way or another, right?
Uh-huh.
So I was like, what if one day, randomly on like say Discord or any other kind of platform, a new status shows up and it's called Haunted, and it has no color that y'all can really tell from, and everyone who's like looked into it, data mined the information, who's like dug into the code to read it, everything, even the developers of the program or whatever app or whatever it's going to be for, even if it's on all of them, can't figure out where the hell this cursed status came from. Or haunted status, I mean. And so nothing ever happens, no one can ever select it for themselves, no one ever can like put themselves on haunted. It's just sitting there unselectable. And months go by and people are starting to pop up swearing they've seen the status, that they've seen people on their friends list turn that color. There's screenshots, there's videos, and it's confusing what's real and what's not real. And then one night, we'll just say it's like 2 in the morning. It's dark out, it's quiet where you're at, you're just doing some small things before going to bed. And then on the corner of your eye, you notice someone's name shoot straight to the top of the list. And you're curious of who that was who's coming online, because almost all your friends, your family, anybody else you have on your list is offline. They're in bed, where you should be. And then that's when you notice your roommate or your lover, someone who lives in the same house as you, they're online. But they're not listed as green online. They're listed as haunted. And it has like a eerie little color for their status color. And you're thinking, what the hell? So you message them. You're like, hey, what are you doing awake? I thought you went to bed hours ago. But there's no response. And then you hear a noise behind you. So you turn around and you look behind you. Your door's cracked open, but no one's there. And then you hear a noise above you. And you look up, and there's your roommate or your friend or your lover who's sleeping in your house. And they got this soulless, dead look in their eyes. And, they're haunted.
I love it. Oh, that's great. Thinking about that kind of reminds me of the other night. So I'm home alone from like when I get home from work to about 2 a.m. in the morning. Okay.
Right.
I go downstairs and the light's randomly on in the hallway. And I'm
That
like,
shit scares me.
okay. Like, I'm aware my house is haunted because my alarm clock that's unplugged, might I add, it's unplugged, will go off. There's no batteries in it, there's no nothing. It's not even plugged into the wall. It just goes off. And I'm just like, staring at the light, and I'm just like, I'm going back to my room.
Not today, Satan.
Not today!
Damn, a Spider-Man.
Yeah, they really do be turning into Spider-Man.
But I was thinking, like, man, how crazy would it be if just randomly a new status showed up and it's just haunted? And it's just like, you just start seeing people on your friends list, people who live far away from you, having that status on. You go, not doing that tonight.
I think I might be intrigued. I might poke the bear with a stick and be like, I know what this does. I want to see.
That's how you become haunted.
I mean, I'm already haunted. What's one more?
What's one more?
All the friends. All the ghost party.
Alright, well, it's your turn now.
Okay. So, I too had this random curse thought today at work. Okay. So, my arms. Like, you have arms, you have hands, and where do you normally, like, stick them when you're, like, trying to, like, talk? Because I'm talk with my hands, but when I'm trying to explain things, I don't want to be aggressive, because I've been told when I talk with my hands, I'm aggressive. So I'm like, okay, where do I put them? So I tried standing with them, like, on my hips, and I was like, no, people had told me I look too much like an ass, like I'm posing. Or so then I was like, one hand in my pocket, one hand on my hip, and I was like, nope, I've been criticized by that stance. So then I'm just like trying to figure out where I throw my hands, so they're just not like limp noodle there. And then my brain was like, what if I could just remove my arms and attach them like with a Velcro strap to my pants until I needed them. Like, just like Legos, like, you know, like, bloop, 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 and just stick them, like, have a hook on my pants for my arms, and be like, yeah, just little nubs there until I need to attach my arms, and then when I need to explain something with my hands, I could go click, click, and just...
I thought this was gonna go similar to, like, angel dust, where, like, he can just pull his arms back into himself. And I thought you were like, what if I could just go...
I didn't even think of that. No, I was like, no. What if I could just remove them from my body entirely without, like, blood and gore? Just, like, Lego them and just have them attach by, like, attached to my belt loop, hanging there until I'm, like, they're needed. Because for me, like, I feel like my arms get in the way when I don't need them. Because it's like you're walking and they just, like, wobble around. And I'm just like, I'll bump into somebody with my arms because I'm just walking around, not moving my arms. And then I'm like, oh, sorry, I didn't mean to touch you. They're just in the way. I just want to remove them and then put them back.
This isn't a curse thought, but, like, I'm chesty. I'm busty. I am I'm not, like, enormous. I'm chesty. So I will take corners tighter than I should because my body will take the corner fine. My chest rams into it and I'm springing off like a damn cushion.
Smack bitch with
Can you imagine if like my chest was like your arms, like little Lego pieces, and if I
Dude,
ran into
no,
the dance
mood.
hall, they just like right off and just clatter on the floor
Mood,
like
I
that.
wish I could do that. I wish my body was Lego now. Man, just remove my boobs when I don't need them. Me trying to work removes them so they get out of my way. I would never reattach them again.
Oh, never again.
Well, maybe if I'm trying to be, like, sexy.
I think it'd be pretty funny to be able to take them off and just bloop bloop right onto other people, so they're like, I want a big chest feel like, and I could be
Click,
like,
click.
here, and just slam it on them.
Yep. Although that brings me to my cursed thought I had yesterday.
I love Large Slat's comment, twist them off like light bulbs.
Yes. But, like, so yesterday when I messaged you, I had, like, an itch right in between my boobs.
Oh, I remember this. Yeah.
And I was just like, what if I could just stick my hand into my chest without, like, being able to hurt myself and just, like, itch myself where it actually itched.
I want you to know, when you messaged me, I was like, man, is Silver streaming? And I looked over on my tab because like I swapped tabs real quick or something. So I went back to the tab that had your stream on, and I was like, she is still streaming!
I had this cursed thought, but I wasn't gonna say it in the middle of stream.
Yeah, because like Silver messages me, it's like, what if you could rip your own skin open, like without hurting yourself, and just play with your little whip cage?
Yeah, it was like where the itch was, like directly on the opposite side of where your heart lies is where the itch, so technically it's under my chest, but I couldn't itch it, and it still bothered me because I was like itching the top half, but it wasn't like hitting the itch. And then I was like, man, I think it's on my rib cage, and I was like, oh, itch my rib cage.
Because I replied back, I'm like, sometimes I thought it'd be neat to be able to peel the layers back to see my muscles move and how they look over bone in person. Because listen, I'm a curious person by nature, and I'm always so intrigued by things. So the idea that, like, what if I could just, like, for your forearm, for example, just turn your hand, palm up, look at the underside of your arm, and just take the skin at your wrist and just peel down like you're a fucking orange or a piece of corn shock. And just see all the muscles and shit underneath. Like, how fucking neat would that be, right?
That would be awesome. Like, when you go to tense your muscles, you can just watch them actually each inch move.
Mm-hmm.
That would be amazing. Because, like, I flex my muscles. Because, I mean, I'm a little buffy for a female. So I got them muscles in the arms.
Ooh, look at her.
I mean, I've lifted a 300-pound mixer before.
Ooh.
And that's with having 2 arm injuries.
Okay, you shouldn't be doing that.
Well, yeah, but it's still super easy because I've been like working out with my arms to make sure they strengthen.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I get yelled at all the time.
I mean, there's strengthening your muscles and then there's overdoing it sometimes. Do you want to hear a story my mom told me when she worked at a hospital? Oh my god, nurses have some of the craziest stories. Like, I remember reading this post on Tumblr, I think it was, where someone was like, you know, working as a cleanup crew for hospitals, you always see things like blood and sometimes organs and feces and bile on the ground. You get used to it. You start understanding things like that. But I went into a room once and I saw sand everywhere. Not just a little bit of sand, a lot of sand. And I'm like, where the fuck did all this sand come from? We're not even anywhere near a beach. And I thought that was the most intriguing thing. Like, can you imagine being in the middle of somewhere that has no sand for like maybe 50 to 100 miles and you're like, where the fuck did all this sand come from? Plop. So
Yep.
she worked on a few people who had their chest open for surgery and had to keep it open after surgery, so she could see the body movements happen because she had to vacuum out stuff so they wouldn't get infections. Yes, I know about that. That is a
Oh,
factual thing.
that sounds like
That is
fun.
somebody's job.
Damn. Sometimes, man. Ooh.
All right, so I had a cursed thought. These are dated because I have a ch- in one of my servers, and it's literally called cursed thoughts. So whenever I have a thought, I type it up so I don't forget it because it's just fun.
Hell yeah.
And what's funny is several people have access to see this, and one of the people are like Komodo and Sin. And Komodo and Sin are both very unimpressed with me. And I wrote this on the 24th of May, so it was no more than a week and a half ago
Hell yeah.
ish. And I labeled it molting. What if we're all born as a bug that
Oh
is
yeah.
inside of us that feeds off our bodies until eventually we, as humans, molt the human skin and become the bug in society? And the bugs themselves just keep giving birth to human babies. And then the molting just keeps going in cycles. You're not really like a human. You're just a bug trying to shed its larva or its exoskeleton, or you're like a little cicada. You're just trying to bust out of your shell and go back to society looking like a normal motherfucking bug.
I like that one. I told my coworker that one. Thorn was not impressed with me because I was talking to my coworker about it in front of Thorn.
Thorn's like, why? Why am I involved in this?
Oh,
Why am I here?
my coworker's response is, what if everything we see is because we have all been brainwashed by the higher ups for these bugs? So what we see is been predetermined since the day we were born. So you having orange hair isn't actually orange, but
Mhm.
because we were told it's orange, that's what we're seeing, but not what actually it is. I was just like really impressed by that one.
Something like that. Let me look through my list. Because I feel like I have something that seems familiar to that to me. Uh,
I mean, to further that cursed thought, it's like, wow, what if the sky isn't actually blue? What if it's like Neapolitan kind of looking like? Maybe it's like bright pink or cotton
that's
candy, but because we were told it's blue, that's what we're seeing. Because I mean, it's like stars aren't technically white, stars are like gas balls that are like multiple different shades of red. I'm green? Yay! Who knows what color I actually am? You were told that I am silver. uh, Random curse thoughts.
okay. So mine was where is it? I just had it. So mine was like, what if your hair and your skin color was an ancient way for aliens to grade humans? So when people started coloring their hair in unnatural colors like blue, green, etc., it threw the aliens off. So we're not born with our own natural skin and hair color and eye color. We're graded based on like, however the hierarchy is for. So like, have you ever seen Promise Neverland?
Yes.
Okay, so you know how the kids are basically graded based on their brain capacity, like
Yeah,
how
their
smart they are?
intelligence level.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So it's kind of like that. So instead, it's like the breeding of humans. So we'll just say, for example, if blue hair was common and green hair was uncommon. Green-haired people would be more graded higher for the aliens because, uncommon can sometimes have a rarity to it. But the blue-haired people are just like, it's fucking whatever.
Yeah. I
Tell me
love
you're
that.
looking very green today.
I love that. Because it's like, that goes with my somebody sticking their hand into their chest. Because in the Promised Neverland, they actually have somebody who sticks their hand into their rib cage. But they also get a bomb implanted in their chest during that. But that's besides the point.
Alright, I have a fun one for you.
Ooh, I like fun ones.
So it's called Pull Lottery. This curse thought I had back in 2021 in August. And it was, what if when you have a pool, be it a kiddie pool, in-ground pool, above-ground pool, even like hotel pools, etc., the water is not always guaranteed. You have to roll or spin a thing to figure out what your pool is going to be filled with. Water is not always guaranteed. It's one of the options, so you could end up on something like goose feathers, jello, pennies, tacks, needles, barrels of hay, and you'd be so damn lucky if you just got water. You would be the most popular fucker in your whole world.
Love that.
Yeah, pool full of crabs.
That's
And
great.
to take it even further, you have to just keep re-rolling every year, and you're just hoping and praying. And hotels themselves will one year have a pool full of water, and the next year you go to visit them and you're thinking, oh cool, they have water, I'm so excited. And you get there and it's full of fucking crab meat, and you're like, what the hell?
Crab.
It is 105 degrees outside. I was looking for water.
Get
No, it doesn't
hungry.
include the ocean. It's anything that people would naturally make. So up in ground, above ground, kiddie
So I
pools.
guess,
It's
yeah, a
just
black
pools.
hole. People can make black holes. That'd be
I mean, if
fucked up.
humans can make a black hole, fucking good luck to you.
I mean, scientists are trying to do it.
Yeah,
But that's more to study it. But still. Could you imagine, oh hey, there's a black hole. We don't know how to get rid of it, so we moved our house 10 miles away from it. We're just waiting for the year to be up. By then, half the block is gone.
You're like, you just spin and you land on black hole, and everyone's like, black hole! And you're like, do I have to accept it? I can just choose not to have a pool this year.
No, unfortunately, you have to accept this. There is no choice.
Can I phone a friend?
No.
Damn.
But could you imagine that? Like, all of a sudden, say, Nebraska just vanished off the map. What happened to Nebraska? Oh, they got a black hole this year in one of the neighborhoods. Oh, there goes one of the states. Well, what are we gonna do? There's nothing there. Well, we boarded it off on what areas you can go through that are safe.
Like, oh, but I hear Sarah got herself some, goose feathers. That'd be pretty fun to jump in.
I mean,
heard you just gonna break an ankle.
I wonder,
Hmm?
how many goose feathers would
Would
take
it
to
take
fill a pool?
I think that you would have to keep refilling it because, like, you would think, oh, blank amount of number of goose feathers is enough because it looks like it fills the pool. But then it, like, maybe rains or
Yeah, that's what I was
something and
thinking.
it ends
So
it, and you're like,
pretty
I
much,
need
you
more.
just need to have the faucet on 24/7, pouring out goose feathers.
There's a goose shortage in the U.S.
Oh my god. What if it was like bears? A pool full of bears?
So well, considering they would try to kill you.
Oh, Oh,
How many
what
geese must be
happened to
sacrificed?
Jimmy's family yesterday? Well, they got grizzly bears for their pool.
um,
Oh,
let's see.
oh, that's great. Oh,
Hmm?
let us talk about the curse of curses.
Okay.
The pregnancy and the milk hive mind.
Okay. So I had a curse thought that I ended up telling Silver. Let me scroll to it. That I had a while back, and it was basically pregnancy, the new hip diet. And here it is. I made this back in April of this year. And it basically goes that what if upon getting pregnant, the child is literally a parasite? And I mean literally a parasite. It is feeding off of the parent who is the host. Which means if you do not have enough body fat, enough food entering your body on a regular basis, the kid is going to eventually eat the host until either the host dies and the child is born, or they both die because the parasite is going to kill the host until there is no host. So that means to become pregnant, the womb holder would need to ensure they have enough nutrients in their body before becoming pregnant to ensure that the parasite does not kill them. But here's the kicker. Some people will get pregnant not to have a kid, but just to kind of, lose some weight. Have that little parasite bugger eat all the fat in their body. And once the little shit has, then you kind of, you take a hot iron to it and kill it. And this causes problems because then people are like, oh, I want to lose 50 pounds by summer, and it's so hard working out all the time. I don't have the time for that. So instead, what I'm going to do is get pregnant, have a child parasite in your body, lose 50 plus pounds, kill the some bitch, and now you're nice and hot for summer. So this causes problems, and the government has to step in, and they have to ensure that if you're pregnant, you have to carry to term unless there's some issues like, defects or something like that. Normal things that would acquire a person to give up the parasite. But that also means that you could be brought up on murder charges for getting rid of that little bitch a little too soon. And then I started saying about how then there would be a black market of people trying to get themselves pregnant, and there's like holes in the walls of dudes just like offloading their baby juice into women just getting them pregnant. I mean, he can't be held accountable if he can't see their face, right? There's just turkey basters in the black market just going, alright, spread 'em. And Sylvia decided to go with her coworker.
Oh, so I decided I was gonna tell my coworker this. And then, so we went and continued our day after that conversation. And she spilt a gallon of whole milk. And I was like, wow, you spilled the milk. She goes, ew, it's whole milk. And then later that day, when we're closing up, the pitcher of whole milk we keep out for like people to pour their own milk into the coffee spilt all over her shoe. And she looks at me and goes, the milk, it just spilled all over my shoes. And I'm like, wow, you insulted it earlier. It's just getting back. She looks at me and goes, does it have a hive mind brain? And I was like, what? And then I was just like, okay. And then I continue. And then the thought went rolling out of control. Think about it. If you're, like, pregnant, women produce their own milk, okay? But to get that milk, you have to eat and drink. So if you're lactose intolerant, you're drinking like oat milk, almond milk, so forth and so forth.
Right.
Yeah, so think about it. Back then, in the olden times, there was no alternative milks. You had milk. One kind. That being, or goat. But it's still like cow or goat. You had two choices.
Yeah.
Okay. So that starts off with, so let's say ancestors of mine only drank whole milk. Okay, fine. If I had a sibling and they happen to be lactose intolerant, can't drink it, but they have a kid, they're starting a whole different breed of hive mind. Because they're no longer on the cow or goat milk. But even then, you have the whole milk from cows, that's a hive mind, and a goat milk, that is hive mind. And now you're adding in this third kind, which is like alternatives. But what if you're like allergic to nuts and can only drink oat? So then they're only drinking oat milk. So that's a hive mind in itself. And
The
then
oats are gonna overtake.
yeah, just like random hive minds start popping up. Because you have almond, oat, soy, coconut, all these different milks now. So then, think about it. If you get together with somebody who, like, doesn't drink the same milk as you and have a child, that child will not be the same as one of their parents. Because they will be drinking the alternative. Or, so it's like, if their father's drinking alternative milk and they're drinking whole milk, they won't have the same hive mind as their father, but the same hive mind as you.
Can you imagine, like, one of the hive minds gets so strong that they eventually just, like, start slipping it into their coffee? Just start slipping it into their coffee. And it's just a slow overtake of, like, that one hive mind just overtaking the others by just slow integration, you know? Just gotta...
Yeah, just slowly trying to change everybody. Personally, I feel like if anybody tried to hive mind my brain off of like whole milk that I drink, I might actually never be able to drink drinks again, because I get violently sick if I have alternative milks. Like, my body's allergic to it. I can't have alternative milks, which is hilarious. Pray to God that my child, if I ever had one, only drinks whole milk. Or else me and it probably won't share the same hive mind. But it's just...
Good on you, child. You're also not lactose intolerant.
Future descendants, you hear me? I hope when you watch this, I hope you understand. And you continue these cringe thoughts. That just gave me another cringe thought. There.
Oh, yeah?
What if, like, 20 years into the future, there's, like, a you and a me?
Mm-hmm.
Exactly, like, descendants of us. So far...
Reincarnation.
Yeah, so far into the future. And they're randomly one day scrolling through YouTube or Twitch, and they find this. Because they're actually able to bring back, like, VODs from death or something from the internet. And they find this. And they're like, holy crap, that was your ancestor. And the other one's like, dude, that's yours. And then they start up the cursed thoughts all over again. What do you think cursed future thoughts would be?
They would kind of be like, Sim thoughts, you know? Like The Sims. Like, they're just so outlandishly wild.
Sims, man.
The
Simlish. Damn. That's hilarious.
I have one for you, speaking of, like, future and, like, cursed thoughts down the line, kind of shit like that.
Hell yeah.
So, I made this back in 2021, and I called it Unlock Memories for a Moment. And it goes, basically, every once in a while, be it a day, month, year, etc., you suddenly have the ability to remember or recall all memories. Like unlocking them. And I'm talking about every memory you have. But in doing so, sometimes relocks other memories away. Like a capacity of so many memories are only allowed to be open at a time. So once this grace period passes, you forget what you could do and won't know that this new power, you won't know about this power until the next time it comes and hits you. So it's like, say the memory power hits you. You remember all about it. And you're thinking, okay, what memory do I want to unlock? What do I want to try and unleash from myself? Because something's always been nagging in the back of your head. You've always been trying to think about this one incident that happened to you when you were younger. Like, oh, where did I misplace this sock? Or, did Johnny actually give me back the money he owed me back in 10th grade? Shit like that. So you remember it. But then you're forgetting what you did last week at Jazzercise, what someone talked to you about, because a memory has to get locked away somehow, you know? It's a even exchange kind of bullshit. But as soon as the grace period happens, you forget about the power, you forget about being able to unlock memories. You don't even remember what happened to Jazzercise. But damn, you do remember Johnny never paid you back for that fucking sandwich you bought him. That motherfucker.
Dude, that thought kind of reminds me of where I'm at currently in Kingdom Hearts. Chain of Memories.
Oh my god, I love Chain.
It's like when you're going through Castle Oblivion. The further you go in, you remember something, but the less you remember, like, just happened. But the more you remember about your past.
Yeah.
It's like core heart memories. But to gain them, you have to lose something.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that would be funny as hell. Dude, I would never want to, like, give up the memory of, like, oh yeah, I had this cursed thought stream, and then you're like, wait, did I? Because you don't remember it.
But think about it too, like, sometimes you don't even get to choose your memories. It just, you know.
Yeah,
happens.
that would be awesome and hilarious at the same time. Now I'm wondering if one of my friends did pay me back or not. I'm thinking, like, I had a friend like that. Did they ever pay me back?
I had a cursed thought that when I typed it up, Sin messaged me and said, shut the fuck up. This is also in 2021. I labeled it dreams. And this is back when I didn't write big, like, little stories for them, so they were more like short bursts. But it was our dreams really ours, or alternate universes we live in? What if we dream shared? Possession is just a lucid form of dreaming. So, like, for example, you dream of yourself, we'll just say walking in the park, and then a dog comes up and attacks you, and you wake up thinking it's a nightmare. But really, an alternate universe of you just got mauled by a dog and died. And that's why you woke up, because you died.
Dude, I had that same thought in 2019. When I was when I was hanging out with my friends Matcha and Violet, they told me no. We're not having that here.
Don't do that.
Let's not. Well, see, I was more of in a bad spot back then, and I'm like, let's not have those thoughts, please.
The whole time they're like, shut your mouth.
But yeah, it's like, what if you are astral projecting into another dimension? And so it's like, you're seeing a whole different you. And I'm just like, you know, technically, who knows? There could be like thousands of different me's in thousands of different universes. God knows how many worlds are out there. Humans might not even exist. We could be a totally different race in a different universe.
I mean, hell, you never know. You could just be living an alternate universe that's not on the main curve right now. Anyways.
We're not even real.
It's all make-believe.
I did that to a coworker yesterday.
Oh, don't do that to your coworkers.
No, wait, it was Sunday. We were all doing it to a coworker. We were just making beeping noise and then like, this is a dream, wake up!
Beep, beep.
Beep.
That's one way to give someone a heart attack.
So this isn't my curse thought, but I was watching, like, Jeff Dunham, okay?
Okay, I remember watching him back when I was younger. Yeah.
Yeah. And, like, I was just watching
Papa.
random, like, shorts while I was trying to go to bed the other night. And one of my favorite ones, Ahmed, came in and goes, was it bad that I unplugged my brother's life support just to charge my phone? And I was like, huh. What if you charging your phone actually was his life support? And it's like, your phone is connected to every single patient in a hospital. So, like, my phone right now, it's currently charging because it was at 15% earlier. It's just like, what if I'm charging my phone and it's saving somebody's life at this moment of time?
The only saving grace is the fact that my phone is on 2%.
And it's like, if your phone dies, you just murdered somebody.
Oh.
That's one of my funnest curse thoughts I had, because I was just like, you know, maybe that man could have lived if you charged your phone sooner.
I think it's pretty great that I have not let my phone die very frequently. Now, okay, expanding on that, if you have to restart your phone for any reason, like because it bugged out or on you or something like that, are you like, you causing them to die for like 5 seconds?
Yeah. So, like, my phone tends to overheat a bit, so it shuts off and reboots itself, and it roughly takes 5 minutes.
Right.
So, after I had that thought the other day, I'm just like, you know, I hope that person's doing okay. Like, I hope there's no brain damage done. Because you just have to think, like, amount of times it takes to, like, reboot a phone, depending on how old it is.
Mm-hmm.
Live! It's like these people are fighting in a hospital room, trying to bring this man back to life with those, paddles. Can't remember what they're called.
They're called paddles.
Oh, they are? Okay, cool. And it's like, all of a sudden somebody goes, we just got the notification and the cell phone came back on! And then you look at the man and he goes, I'm alive!
Don't do that again.
And it's like, you know, when people get old, it's like those old phones. It's like somebody's about to die. They turn into, it's like a track phone. And it's just like, I'm sorry, it's a dinosaur phone. You've got to turn it in. And the person's like, but I love him! And you know, it's like, no, I'm sorry, it's time to let him go.
Dude, so I had to replace my phone last year because it was in my back pocket and I slipped down the stairs, half a landing, and it was more like, not like I tumbled down, but it was like I slipped and my butt's banging like stair by stair by stair going down.
Oof.
Until eventually I stopped at the half landing. And my phone bent. Not like crazy bent, but it was like slightly bent and the screen was kind of cracked. And thinking about that now with your little curse thought, I'm like, man, I just broke mama's back.
Yeah, like, okay, that's also another thing, like flip phones and the new phones.
I miss flip phones.
Like, okay, think about it. Back when I was in school, way back when, like, I had a flip phone. I used to do sports, okay?
Oh,
so
man.
I forgot one day I had my cell phone in my soccer bag. So I yeeted it. Like, I punted my soccer bag across the field at the bench.
Oh, why would you do that?
You know, it had a soccer ball in it. And I was like, I wonder if my bag will still bounce. if the
Yeah, it's
ball.
gonna bounce with all your shit in it too.
Yeah, but I forgot my cell phone was in there. Because it's like, I was young, I was naive. I still had cursed thoughts back then. And I yeeted it. It landed. And I went to go call for a ride. And that's when I realized my phone had split in half. I had split that flip phone directly in half, and not the half.
Did you put your flip phone open inside the book bag?
Like, it wasn't even the good split your phone in half. Like, it wasn't even the flip phone. Like, the top and the bottom where it flips. I split my phone in half. Like, the wrong way. So not the part where you flip it open, it split in half kind of thing of, oh, it just bent backwards and now it's funny. No, more of you turn it sideways and you take a knife to it.
I had a flip phone. So in middle school, I had gotten my first cell phone, which was a Nokia, and it was not a flip, it was like one of those Nokia bricks. I love that bitch. I still have it. But I had gotten it because I did sports after school, and I needed it to call my family if, like, practice was canceled or, ended early or whatever, or, like, they were running late and it was just for me to know that they were on their way. So when I got into high school, I had gotten my first flip phone, and I had gotten it 9th or 10th grade. I think it was 10th grade. And so my flip phone had one of those, like, outer screens that would tell you, like, the date, the time, and it would have, like, some other little information, like, who
Yeah.
was calling you? And, I had put the phone in my pocket, and then 2 hours later, I pulled the phone out of my pocket, and I whacked the screen, and I told my mom, and she was like, "You had this for 1 day. How did you do this?" And I was like, "I don't know." That phone worked great, except for that screen. Oh, I disappeared for a nanosecond.
I don't know what happened. I clicked something on OBS and you were like, whoop, and I was like, oh.
I was watching me and all of a sudden, blip, blip. And I was like, where did I go?
Maybe you just faded into the green for a moment.
But it was like, man, I also, like, I did that phone fine until eventually got upgraded, but I got one of the slider phones. So I didn't have one of the ones that, like,
oh shit, that's huge.
Would swivel to turn up. I had the one that you would, like, push it up. Yeah, so mine was, kind of like that, but a little different.
Yeah, so the flippy part? No, that's not what happened. I kind of went, oh, wrong thing. I kind of, like, right where that bar is that says it's, like, charging.
You did not.
I did. That's right where I slid it in half. On both sides, too.
Did you have to explain that to your family, or did you try and hide it?
Given that it was handed to me from my parents after they had it for 6 years, I looked at them and go, huh, you might want to think about a new cell phone. This one wasn't very sturdy. They looked at me and go, how is it a W? I was just like,
what did you do? How did you do this? And you're like, don't ask questions.
I was like, don't ask. And they're like, did you have one of your random thoughts? And I was like, if I could see how far I could punt my soccer bag with a soccer ball in it and see if it bounces, then yes. They're just like, okay.
Oh my goodness.
So, like, cursed thoughts have been with me since way back when.
Cursed thoughts have always been with me, but I never actually called them cursed thoughts. I always just called them my curiosities. Because I would always be like, oh man, can you, like, I would sit on the toilet and I'd be like, can you imagine a world where, like, we never had to use the bathroom? Like, our bodies could naturally just process all the waste out in, like, some humane kind of way or something.
So we've all had that thought then.
Yeah, and
I've had that thought too.
And like I have kind of like slowly evolved it in my head. Like, what if like you, as a person at some age, like instead of being able to drink at 21, you got to pick. Like for 21 years, you had to do like every kind of bathroom thing possible. But then at 21, you're like, all right, we can give you the red pill or the blue pill. What are you doing? Are you shitting on the rest of your life? Or are you peeing for the rest of your life? And let me tell you, I would take the peeing over shitting any day.
Yeah, legit.
I would take peeing
But I'm
any
glad,
day.
like, most of the bathroom thoughts all happened to somebody eventually. Because I never had a name for my random thoughts. I just said random thoughts. And then I'd ask somebody. It's like, have you ever watched the anime, Shuguchara?
Does not sound familiar.
So, pretty much, sum up the anime is, it's a special world
No, I
where,
have not.
all kids up until the age of 18 get a little egg that is your internal dream, like what you want to be when you grow up. And
Okay.
it stays with you until you're 18. Because you can either fulfill it and work towards it as an adult, or
Right.
give it up and it fades away into nothing.
Right.
And so I thought, and I looked at one of my friends one day and I was like, what if we all technically have that right now? And it's just nobody can see it because we have not been fulfilling our dreams. And we've just like already locked them away when we turned like 10 because our parents told us, oh, you're not gonna grow up to do that, sweetie. I just thought it'd be like random. Could you imagine, like, oh, I want to grow up to be a princess. You work really hard one day, and you, like, this little princess chibi thing is following you around until you're 18, and you're like, looking at it, and then you go, I'm sorry, I can't fulfill this dream anymore. Goodbye. And it
Can
just
you imagine?
fades away. Like, you just killed a part of your soul.
Can you imagine? And the idea of like, you have this egg. You keep dreaming that you're going to be like a princess. You're going to find your prince or princess. You're going to become this other princess. You're going to become royalty and all that. You're waiting for this motherfucker to hatch to tell you it's your dream to follow. You're going to have this dream, and it opens up and it goes accountant. You're going to be an accountant, and you're like, "Excuse me." You put all this time and energy to thinking of yourself as a princess, and the thing goes, I declare you an accountant.
I mean, that would be true too. Like, it's a part of your soul, and it knows you better than you know yourself at that moment of time. That would be a sad reality. But then it's like, also, what if that was like, you could do it past the age of like 18? Wow, what would you be then? Like, oh hey, your little accountant or princess thing is like following you around, and you're like, what are you gonna become? You look over at your soul thing and be like, I'm working on being an accountant.
In another sense too, instead of like being 18 where you're kind of a bit slightly more mature to have the capacity to think of it like that, but think of it like, what if when you're like 11 or 12 you have to make that decision, like you have to make the decision if you're going to follow your egg's promised dream or whatever, and like how crazy is that? Because like at 11 and 12 you're going through so many hormonal things in your life, you're like trying your hardest to like just survive the world and get through all of those puberty stages of your life, and then you're like you're like, you have to be an accountant when you grow up. Are you gonna follow this path or not? And you're staring at it like, what the fuck is an accountant? Teenage angst is just gonna hit you hard.
That would be great. That'd be hilarious. Although, speaking about teenagers and angst, so you've seen the movie Inside Out, right?
Yes.
And you know that there's a second one coming out.
Not very excited about that, but yes.
It's like, what if the whole world is that? And it's like, currently, right now, I'm being controlled by these little 5 people controlling my emotion. And it's like, oh, here controlling the mod right now, body is like anxiety and anxiousness. And right beside it is like fear, sadness, and like crazy. And crazy just pushes anxiety out of the way and is like bashing buttons.
Hey, I mean, you technically don't know if you're not being controlled by a group of emotions in your head going, we're gonna kill her.
I mean, I always kind of had this weird thought of like, you know, what if we're just Barbie dolls to somebody else? And the Barbie dolls we play with are another set of universes.
Barbie dolls. Yeah.
That are like Monster High dolls. What if that whole universe is just because we were playing with the dolls?
What is it, Beba? It's not dinner time yet. Don't be acting like that.
Kitty!
Um.
Cats
No.
are the true
Oh, I
leader.
have one for you.
Ooh, go.
So this is gonna take off topic, kind of. So, what if? Okay. So real quick, this is a fact check. Do you know how salmons work? The fish
Like breeding or eating?
breeding. So you like if they don't breed, you know how they get kind of like visually fucked up.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Okay.
my cursed thought, I might have told you this one, but I'm not 100% sure. But I was like, what if, like salmon, the fish, if we as humans don't have sex, we start turning into beasts. So the longer you don't have sex or never have sex, the more beastly you'll become. And instead of dying off at old age, you die by becoming a beast or an animal. But if you start having sex, that reverses. So the question is, would it be considered bestiality if you fucked a beast turned human?
All I can think of is Beauty and the Beast right now.
Yeah, well, you know, we're all a little horny for that damn thing.
Actually,
But just like,
not really.
but like all the asexuals on the world would just get outed because they're like, everyone would be like, oh, you're just a virgin, you're just a virgin. They're like, no, it's a choice. And I will die with this ship.
Dude, that would be something though. Imagine one day you wake up and you just start growing fur everywhere.
Alright, bye.
It's like, okay. And then you try to like shave it off and it just instantly grows back.
Like, there's just people out there occupational wise, they'll just have sex with people who are turning beastly.
I'll stop
It's like,
you from going beast.
instead of grinder, it's furinder.
Grinder.
What are you doing? What are you doing?
Kitty.
Alright, that was smart. Okay.
Oh, hi cat. I said kitty and now there's a cat in my foot. Hi, which one are you? Hi, Des. Come here, you. Now I've got a cat at my feet. I wonder if cats are actually ruling the world.
I have a constant thought every time I look at Bella, and I'm always thinking back to like a thing I read once where it's like, can you imagine finding out that your cat or your dog, your pet in general, is a real person or has the cognitive thought to understand that you're getting naked in front of them repeatedly? And so anytime I look at her when I'm changing clothes and she naturally looks away, I'm like, please don't say you're real. Please don't tell me you have cognitive enough thought to know I'm naked right now. Like, don't.
See, with that, I think that would be kind of interesting because, like, whenever I'm changing or something, my cat always walks out of the room and waits at the other room until I'm done. And he knows I'm done is when I step out into the hallway and he'll just come running back over and I'm like, huh. You're a very polite young man.
It's just, but like, the things I'll say, the things I do that I would never do in front of another human being, I do in front of my pet, and my pet's like, I know what you're doing over there, Susan.
Oh, I'd just be like crazy, man. Randomly crazy things. Be hilarious too, though. Just like, I know what you're doing.
I see you with your furless body.
I'd just be like, huh. I'd look at them and be like, you eat better than I do.
You look better than I do.
Like, right now I have to kind of shave my cats because they got knots because of the humidity up here where I live.
Mm-hmm.
And so they got some bald spots. And they're probably thinking like, how dare you? I am superior.
They just gotta figure out what the opposable thumb method is for them, and then you're toast. You are toast.
Cher. I mean, Komodo, how dare you call Cher a liar?
Wait, how you gonna call me a liar? For what?
Oh, I'm so sorry, Your Highness, for stop petting you.
How dare you?
I stopped petting her, so she must tap my leg 3 times with her paw.
She's like, back to it, heathen.
Oh, random curse thoughts.
Before we move on, I need to know what the fuck Komodo's talking about.
I'm curious what he's talking about, too. How is he technically biased and calling you a liar at the same time? Which part? Also, that cupcake looks really good, and I actually want to find somebody to make it.
The Galaxy Cupcake?
Yeah.
It's probably, like, you could just do, like, a lemon or a vanilla, and then you essentially just get, some of the, frosting, and you kind of mix it slightly, put it in a bag, and then just pipe that bitch out, put on some glitter, put on some, like, star sprinkles. There you go!
You know, there's actually this cafe. Sorry, to go off topic, like severely off topic. But there's this cafe that's witch themed that opened up like about 2 years ago that I just found. And they make random witchy themed cupcakes.
Mm-hmm.
And one of my favorite one is called a witch's brew. And it's just a vanilla cupcake with like peanut butter. And it's so good.
Hmm.
But now I'm wondering if I show him this, I was like, hey, can you make a weird cosmic galaxy themed cupcake? You can sell it at your shop, I don't care. I just want
Here's your make.
I just want to see if you guys can make something like this.
Alright, since Komodo's not responding to us in stream, I messaged him personally and went, what the fuck?
I mean, you could also just walk next door.
Yeah, that means I have to get up.
True. True. I also just realized I left my drink downstairs.
Oh dear.
And I'm kinda thirsty after talking. I'm too lazy to get up, though, at this moment in time. Plus, there's a cat laying in my lap now. I wish I had a cat cam.
I did that a few times when I was streaming.
I gotta set up, like, a secondary camera. But then also people would get, like, free feet pics. Because she lays right on my foot.
You give them a few free glimpses. And then after that,
2 subs.
it's market.
You want feet pics? 2 subs? 5 minutes.
5 minutes.
More subs. More minutes. Scratch the kitty head. I've been staring at the single, taken, or cursed, or some shit. And my brain is like, well, what is the other some shit?
Mm-hmm.
What could it be? Like, is it actual shit? Or is it like something composed of unknown origin? Because I'm just curious.
Yes, that's dirt.
Dirt. Here, have
Dirt.
some dirt. Dirt. Wow. Oh shit. Oh, there goes my Tigger figurine again. God, I drop that thing like twice a day.
Does it break apart?
So, the funny thing is, the 3D like puzzle I did of Tigger has a screw that goes through the bottom piece of its head that holds it together. But the top part of his head pops up. So every time he falls over, it's like, oh, I just half decapitated Tigger.
Beheading.
Oh, it's like, okay, so speaking about beheading, you know how chickens run around after you cut off their head for like 5 minutes? And they can run like 50 miles.
Yeah.
It's like, what if you did that to a human? What if you just cut off their head and there they go? It's like, wow, look at them. They're free.
Can you imagine, like, you cut off someone's head, you let the body move around, and the first thing they do is just start throwing hands with you, but because they can't see you, they're just flailing. They're like, I'm already dead, what you gonna do about it?
You know, that would actually be really funny, because imagine this. You hate somebody so much, and you have, like, a list. So you stick them in a room, and you tie a knife to the person you're gonna chop the head off of, okay? So, like, they have knives strapped to their hands, okay? And you know that once you chop off their head, they're gonna come at you. So you just randomly tie knives to everybody's, like, hands in this room. But you keep them, like, on a timer, so they can't be free until after you cut this guy's head off. And then he starts cutting off other people's heads in that room, and it's just like, wow, look at this mosh pit go. It's just somebody decapitating somebody after decapitating somebody.
So instead of like a firing squad, it's a tango line of decapitations.
Yeah.
That is hilarious.
The Red Queen would definitely lose her job then.
Everyone gets a decapitation. It's just Oprah decapitations. You get a decapitation. You get a decapitation. We all get decapitated.
Oh. So I learned something from one of my younger coworkers.
Mm-hmm.
So in school, seniors no longer do a senior skip days. They do.
It's so hard nowadays.
They do senior assassinations.
I heard about that and it was so fucking confusing until I like had to dig so hard into finding out what the fuck that was about.
Yeah, I had to have them break it down for me. And it's like...
Also, I don't feel like I would have ever called it that, but you know,
yeah, whatever. We're old school now, apparently.
Mm-hmm.
So, it's like... So, if my target is Sin, and your target is me, you could take me out and then go take Sin out.
So, not to give Sin too much credit, but also to discredit myself quite a bit, Sin would annihilate me.
Oh, probably. Sin would kill me before I could kill them. But I'm just saying, like, if that's how the lineup goes, that's how the assassination... Could you imagine if, when, like, people want to go, okay, it's time to control the population, and this is how they're gonna do it. So you randomly get a text one day, and you're just like, what's this text? And it says, you are now assigned, like, Wandering Leaf. And then you're like, oh shit, it's time. And then they get a text message and it's like, oh, their target is Thorn. And it's like, You go to your best friend and you're like, hey, I don't think I can do this. I think they're gonna kill me if I try to kill them. It's like trying to figure out by switching, like all of a sudden change your cell phone numbers, like hand them your cell phone number and be like, oh yeah, this has been my number this whole time. Because it's like,
I feel like I would have gotten the text and been like, take out Silver. And I'm like, on it, boss. And I come up to you like, hey, Silver, I got a cursed thought for you. And you'd be like, what is it? And I hold a gun up to your head and I go, hasta la vista, baby. And I just shoot you.
dude, honestly, if you said you had a cursed thought, I'd look at you and go, Cher, I want that cursed thought first.
You're like, give it to me first. Though.
Give it to me.
I'd be like, what if the worms on the grounds are actually not worms, but they're just the parasites that we like excrete from our skin, the sweat that builds up and becomes a new body, and that new body is eventually going to feast upon our own skin cells as we lay dead on the ground, and we just keep recreating worms, and then I shoot you dead.
Dude, I think I might be content dying that way. If somebody comes up to me because of this is how we have to fix the world population system,
You're like, yay!
yeah, I died happy.
I died with information cursely in my head. And you just lay dead on the ground, and everyone's like, you good? And you're like, yes, I'm great.
You got any last words? What if I'm not actually dying?
What if I'm not
This is
really
an unfair
here?
reminder to do a stretch and drink some water. This
I have
is
to go
not a
downstairs to
threat,
get my
it's a
drink now.
promise. Go drink some water,
Lad-
or I'll fucking end you.
Lad has threatened me with a lad combo.
Alright, while you go down and get your drink, I will sit here with them.
Yes, entertain the chat. I'll be right back.
Hey! Hello, everybody. Hello. So, I hope you're all having a great night tonight, or a great day, whatever the temp is for you. And, And if there's ever any kind of like curse thoughts that y'all want that's like based off of Cher, does your long Furby have a name? It is Pettykins, and it's called Pettykins because I pet it and it's like a Webkins, but just very long. Have you all seen the new Furbies? Sad. Sad. They are not as cursed. I do not appreciate the new Furbies. Hi, Bella. I mean, yeah, they're cuter. Whatever. They're not cursed. I remember just all the stories I would hear of people being like, I'd be laying in bed and all of a sudden that thing's eyes would flick open and start singing, and I would wake up in a horror. Can you imagine how terrifying that is? We just don't get that anymore.
I'm back.
Gremlins, welcome back. No name, just fire purging. I named it Pettykins. It has a name, and its name is Pettykins.
Pettykins? Who's Pettykins?
My long Furby.
Ah. So, I just remembered a cursed thought when I went downstairs to get my drink. It's not even my cursed thought. It's Thorns. And she looked at me and goes, I blame you for this. So,
Okay.
you know how, what was it? Oh, rock candy. It's based off of somebody. Thorn, this is your fault for this thought, and I'm sharing it. How somebody wanted to eat a rock, but they made rock candy instead.
Clap. Yeah.
Well, Thorn looks at me as we're drinking boba one day and goes, what if the person who made boba wanted to eat a paintball? And I'm like,
Well, is it a paintball or is it what are those Orby balls?
yeah, like one of those, either or. And I'm just thinking, I'm like, you know, that's valid. Because I'm just like, I could see somebody thinking it's a paintball.
Uh-huh.
Because could you imagine, like, loading up a BB gun, or I guess a paintball gun, same thing, with boba. And when you go to hit it, instead of a paintball, you're getting hit with boba. Oh yeah,
Well,
we also did learn
so,
that
like-
paintball is edible.
What?
Paintball apparently is just cornstarch and food coloring. So it is
Oh, okay.
edible. Macho, we learned that from Macho. They ate a paintball.
Huh. Part of me wonders if like some of the original paintballs weren't actually like that.
I wonder that too.
But so like there's different kinds of boba out there because like, you know, it's made out of tapioca pearls. It's tapioca.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't like the tapioca pearls. I don't like chewing. The texture is just so crazy for me because like my brain's like, why is it soft on the outside, but it still has the intensity of a pit or something on the inside. So
Yeah.
I'm not crazy about it, but I do enjoy popping pearls, which are basically just liquid filled
Yeah.
jelly balls kind of thing.
Yeah.
And can you imagine like someone just filled like a paintball gun with that and they're just like shooting you
Yeah.
with those things, and you're just like opening your mouth at some point going like, "Hit me."
I'm thirsty.
And that's how you choke. That's how you choke. You just die on the ground because you're like, please, they're not popping.
Why aren't they popping? Although it's like, oh, hold on. Too many thoughts going at once. Freedom has been released.
Mhm.
Oh, I do know how like technically the boba jelly ones are made, like the
Mhm.
popping pearl ones. Because all it is gastronomy and forming a silicone-like gelatin around liquid.
Right.
Which is funny to me, because it's like, why are we trying to enhance food with science?
Mhm.
I just find it crazy, man. It's like all the free dry stuff lately.
Well, it's kind of like how the reason why we have orange carrots is just because people bred and did science enough times. Or like how watermelons are edible now, or how we have like, you know, like freeze dried ice cream is simply just because
Still crazy.
science went a little too far and it came out with a pretty good thing.
That reminds me, talking about food.
Mhm.
Blueberries and red grapes are purple. Why? Why are they called blueberries and red grapes if they are purple? It's like, okay, so you're playing around with blueberries, and it's like, you're dyed purple, not blue. But apparently, purple isn't a natural color in nature. But it's like, I see purple flowers around in nature all the time that hasn't been touched by humans. Why? Why aren't they called purple berries?
A quick Google search A quick Google search basically explains that due to how there was not a large range of color words back in the past, purple did not exist at the time. So there were mostly just basic colors, which was like, you know, red, green, yellow, blue, orange, like that. And so red grapes were called red grapes because the best color they had to represent it was red. And it's likely that the grapes were more red. So there's technically 3 color grapes that are the main ones, which are green, red, and black grapes. The
There are black grapes?
Yeah, so
Holy
what you
crap.
might be mistaking is for black grapes. Black grapes are actually more purple than they are any other color. And red grapes are more of a red or maroon or like a pinkish hue. but sometimes they can be a little purple on the outside, but they're more red than anything.
I don't think I've
So
ever seen a black grape.
I'm gonna look it up.
Yeah, I was like, now I'm really curious.
That's not how you spell grape. There are black grapes though, because I eat them all the time.
I got
So,
blueberries.
I'm gonna send you an image. So it goes green, red, black grapes, and so the red grapes are in the center, and they do look rosy red.
Oh yeah, I see. I think I'm seeing the same image because I'm on Google right now.
And black grapes are the ones that are on the far right, which are more like purple colored, especially if you bite into them, and sometimes they look more like blueberries or purple most times. But those are black grapes. I personally don't like black grapes as much. I love green grapes a lot because they're sour and tart. Red, not bad. Black grapes are just not the biggest fan for me.
Maybe it's okay. Yeah, okay. I'm seeing. I think it's because of the area I'm in that the grapes are this color. Okay.
Possibly.
Yeah, because I'm looking at the grapes and they're like called dark red grapes, and I'm like, they're not the same because they look like black grapes, but they're red. Hold on, let me send you the image. There we go.
Oh, those are definitely yeah, those are red grapes, but they look like a hybrid between a red and a black grape.
Yeah, those are like the grapes I have in my stores.
So, I will see those when like the grapes are kind of like out of season, because a lot of times red grapes don't come in like as a vibrant red out of season.
Okay.
So that might be what you're getting, and then when they're in season, you would see more of a red grape.
Okay.
But that's just, seasonals.
Maybe because I'm also further north and it doesn't get really hot. It might just be because of the cold weather we have.
Mm-hmm.
Which makes sense. Okay, yeah.
Let's see.
Cursed topics of groups.
So I had this thought once because I was thinking about so personally I don't put myself online very much, be it physical, non-physical, whatever. I just tend to keep myself as much offline as possible. Like real person name and fake name, I tend to just not share too much damning information.
Yeah.
So one day I had a thought that no matter how hard you try to keep yourself offline, to keep your information hidden, like, we'll just pretend my name is
Uberson.
sorry, Bella was meowing at me. I was looking at her. So let's just pretend my name would be Dorito Sun, right? Like the sun up in the sky. Dorito Sun. And if you look up my name, you wouldn't find much information because I hide a lot of my information for my name, Dorito Sun. You might find like a Facebook post, and you might find like an Instagram or something, but most of the time the profiles are privated, and a lot of the images you would see are no, hold on. A lot of the images you would see are just basic one-off posts, and you're not going to see too much about me. So you're like, damn, Dorito Sun just does not have an online presence, right? Yeah, if you can feed her for me, and if you can put up the food, that'd be great, sweetie. Thank you. So when you would look up Dorito Sun, you wouldn't find much. And that's how I live my life. With barely an online presence for my real name. And I was thinking one day, like, there's no way you would ever know how much you and your physical presence has been put online. You'll never know if someone has viewed you as a different creature, interest for love, amuse, or a victim. You'll never know how many times someone has seen your face outside of it being in front of you, how a stranger might recall seeing you from a video you never knew you were a part of. Like, you're just a character in someone else's background. in someone else's story. You have no awareness of what you play a role in their life, and you'll never know how many times your image is online simply because there's physically just no way for you to track that. Like, there could be an image of me when I was on vacation in someone's photo book, and I am plainly standing there with, say, an ice cream cone in my hand living my life. And they'll always be like, I remember that girl because she was living the best day of her life that day, and she invigorated me. And I would never know what a role I play in someone's life.
True.
And it always kind of, it's not like an evil curse thought, but it just kind of curses my head when I'm thinking about as I'm sitting there or I'm going somewhere, I'm doing activities that I'm like, I could literally be in the background of someone's important moment, and I will never know that I ruined their important moment of their life because I don't know if I'm in this image, in this video, in this whatever.
I feel that. That
You'll never know how many times someone's jacked off to the image of you.
That's a curse thought I wish I never knew. But no, yeah, like way back when I was younger, I was walking down the sidewalk and the newspaper was just taking pictures of the town I live in.
Right.
Because you know, it's a town newspaper.
Right.
So one day, one of my friends runs up to me and goes, "Look at what I see!" And all you see is the top of my head. And they're like, "This is you, isn't it?" And I was like, "What the fuck?" And I'm like, "Huh? What is me?" They're like, "You see this colored hair?" I go, "Yeah."
I know that head anywhere.
I was like, "That's you." And I was like, holy shit, that is me. But all you could see is like the top of my head and my bandana I was wearing, like around like my forehead, so like you can see the top of it slightly because it's on my hairline. But it's like, yeah. And then everybody I know was like, "Oh my god, you got in the newspaper." And I was like, I wasn't even trying.
Well, funny enough, I have a friend that I've always kind of playfully joked to her that I would know her ass anywhere. Because there was one, like back when I used to work in a grocery store, she had come in, but she didn't know I was working there that day. And I saw her off in the distance, and I was like, huh, that ass looks very familiar. I know that ass anywhere.
Damn.
It was just so funny. But, oh my gosh, oh, so I didn't plan this in my life, but I have been, in media twice, and not intentionally. So, I went down to my grandparents' house back when I was in my high school days.
Yeah.
And it was like during the summer, so I was going down to visit for like a week to hang out with my grandparents. And we went to a restaurant, and I'm gonna leave the restaurant blanked just cuz. And we went to a restaurant and we ate lunch there, and I wanted ice cream, and they have wonderful thick milkshakes. And so I went up, and I guess there was a promo going on for the city or the county.
Mhm.
And it was like county news. And we ended up on the county news where I'm on the counter with my grandfather and I'm ordering this milkshake. And we realized that I was being recorded. So we looked at it later, and indeed I was on the county news. And I thought, that's fucking crazy. I will be forever ingrained in this county news ordering a fucking strawberry milkshake to raise fund for children. Close water. And then the second time I ended up in media, what was it? Wow, I'm gonna have to really think about that. I forgot. And the time, like, you were telling your story, I somehow forgot the other piece of media that I was a part of.
That's
Huh.
fair. Although that just reminded me of something from like way back when. So when I was a small child, I went to go visit uh my family down in like the southern part of the state I live in. And they were talking about reminiscing their childhood on how
Mm-hmm.
man they could really go for one of these old-time ice cream.
Mm-hmm.
And so they're like, "Okay, we're all going." So we all like hopped in a car and went there for ice cream. And you know how like a scoop in a sugar cone is like one scoop is a small, two is a large,
A
medium,
medium.
and like
Yeah.
three is like a large.
Uh-huh.
No, no, not this place. They mounded that shit, so it was like 16, and I'm not shitting you, 16 pounds of ice cream.
Wait, what?
16 pounds of ice cream on a cone
Wait.
is a large.
Wait. Who's ordering that? That's like some Five Guys bullshit.
Yeah, no, like legit. And a medium was 10 pounds. And a small was legit 5 pounds. And I'm just going, this is fucking crazy. And I'm like, this is really crazy. Like, holy crap, who's gonna eat all this ice cream? But you know, my childhood brain being like, ice cream. I looked at the adult figure and I was like, I want a large. Cookie dough. Mint chocolate chip. Vanilla. And they looked at me, they're like, no. And I was like,
We're cutting you off.
I was like, yes. And they're like, you'll never finish it. Oh, they underestimated this little child over here.
Aren't you lactose?
Oh no, I'm not lactose intolerant.
Okay.
Yeah. And so I, as a child, ate 16 pounds of ice cream on a small sugar cone.
You would never see me do that.
And they only ever had one person order a large before, unless it was split between a family.
I feel like something that the company itself just needs to make an extra large and not a large. Like y'all need to just make that a decision that it's not a large.
Well, see, it was a mom and pop restaurant. And they've been
Well, yeah,
doing
I
that
mean-
for like years, and they were making bank.
16 pounds though. Like, God.
But yeah, just think about it though. If you order a large in a bowl, you have enough ice cream for like a week.
How much did it cost? They had to go out of business for that shit.
No, because they made enough money. It was only $12 back then. Because this was 2004 I'm talking about.
You good?
So they literally made bank out of $12. Because you think about it, $12 for like a family come in like twice a week. So say you're having a family of 4, and that's enough for a legit family of 4 ice cream. You could keep coming back for like 2 to 3 days. You're already spending like $36 plus tax. But yeah, I literally ate that much ice cream. And the adults were horrified. I went on their board for one of their like record holders of eating that by myself. Wasn't trying to, I just wanted ice cream, man.
Did they put you on the wall?
They put me on the wall. God knows if my name's still on that building wall. God knows if that building's still up.
Probably not.
But it was
There's
just
no way
like,
they can get away with like $12, 16 pounds of ice
I-
cream nowadays.
yeah, I wonder if they changed it now, but I wonder if it's still there. But I mean, damn, 2004, man. 16 pounds of ice cream and $12. The world was crazy.
Back when life used to be so simple.
Back before the internet was a thing. That was dial-up era.
Do you remember dial-up?
I do. The thing
I
nowadays.
remember.
Oh, sorry. Go.
No, you're fine. I was gonna say, like, I just remember, like, always having to be careful with trying to, like, answer a fucking phone call.
I loved answering the phone when somebody was using the internet. And then you'd hear, "Who called, sweetie?" "I don't know." They went, and then your parents look at you like, "What?" And then your parents look and they're like, "Oh, we have the internet plugged in."
Oh,
Crazy.
man. Back when, like, you know, little kids always have, like, curse thoughts going through their head, like, all the time. And they curb it because they're like, hey, stop being so fucking creepy or / weird.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm glad it never got beat out of us, you know?
Yeah. Speaking about cursed thoughts,
Mm-hmm.
one of my friends has a kid.
Okay.
Okay. And
Child.
they looked at me because they found a picture that their mother had taken of them.
Okay.
And this kid, back when he was learning how to eat, he drank ketchup. Like,
Okay.
you know, like how Pikachu drank ketchup from the bottle?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what the kid did. And the kid in the picture was no more than, like, 3 years old, so you can't blame him for not knowing. But he looks at me and goes, "I wonder if it tastes the same as if I did it now, if it did back then." I looked at him and I was like, "You can always try drinking the ketchup in your fridge." Like, I'm
You
not
can just
gonna.
give yourself a sugar shock.
It's like, I'm not gonna stop you.
So, when I was growing up, I had this habit where I would eat butter. And I don't
Butter.
mean like, you know, we would be buttering my baked potatoes and I'd just be eating like the excess butter off it. No, I mean like there would be
Oh.
table and I would take some clumps out of that stick and I'd put it on my table on my plate and I would eat the butter like it was, you know, a side.
Yum. I love a good cup of butter.
And my dad had told my mom, like, she needed to have me stop doing that. And my mom was like, listen, she's growing up. And this was back when I was like, God, like maybe 8 to 10. I was young. She was like, listen, she's a grown kid. She's trying to get some nutrients in her body. And apparently her body wants butter. She's just going to grow out of the phase. And I did grow out of it. So good on my mom. But at the same time, can you imagine as an adult just sitting there watching your kid down like half a stick of butter and acting like it's fucking nothing?
That's hilarious.
But that's not the worst thing. I watched a kid eat glue.
I mean, valid. Speaking about things you really shouldn't eat. So, you know how parents
Butter.
used to threaten us, like, growing up? If you say that word again, I'm gonna wash your mouth out with soap.
Threatened me, but never done to me. Yep.
Yeah, same. So, one day, I may have taught one of my friends who my mom was watching a word. And their mom learned that they learned this word. So they washed their kid's mouth out with soap. Little did she know that she took a bite out of that soap bar and ate it.
No.
And like, we were, I think, 4 years old at the time. So
That kid really went, I'm gonna make you regret this.
And it was their like weirdest thing, because for like the next 2 years, every time she's like, I gotta find a new threat. The soap's not working. She's eating the soap. She's drinking the soap. I tried shampoo. She's drinking that.
Oh.
So it's like, well, all my parents said at that time was, at least you know she's got a clean mouth.
She's gonna be shitting soap.
She's clean.
Oh my gracious.
But like, could you imagine that? Like, that threat not working because you're terrified of using it? Because your child's just gonna eat that bar of soap. Because you know they will. And it was like, the funny thing was, they made a list of every soap they ate. Like, from like the normal...
Do not eat soap.
Yeah, please don't eat soap.
This is a PSA. Do not ingest soap. Do not ingest.
Do not
any
do
kind of-
anything we say today. We do not claim to be in the right mindset when we say some things.
Komodo's sitting there like, that's fucking true.
But
I think the only crazy things I ever ate when I was growing up was I would eat sticks of butter. Not like the whole sticks. I would just sometimes grab pieces off that stick of butter and I would eat it. I even went into the fridge a few times just to get butter to shove in my mouth. And I would eat mayo sandwiches, which is basically just bread with like thick slabs of mayo between them, and I would just eat that. Delicious. I think growing up my body was just seeking the fat.
yeah, like I know people who still do that today. It's
I
like
would still occasionally eat a mayo sandwich.
it's like I have this habit of when I'm craving something salty, I tend to just eat spoonfuls of peanut butter. So I will
fair.
randomly have jars of peanut butter in my room.
Do you sit there and just treat yourself like a dog and you just go...
Yeah, my brain goes dog for a moment, because I'll stick the spoon in my mouth, and then it will get stuck to the roof of my mouth, and my brain will go... And it's stuck, and I'm like trying to figure out how I got it stuck to the roof of my mouth, because my brain just shuts off completely, and I'm just like, deer in headlights, God help, it's stuck.
I have a jar of honey peanut butter at work. Because sometimes if like I don't have something to eat or like I feel like I need an energy boost or something, I'll just grab a spoon and I'll just kind of like scoop a little bit out and I'll lick at the spoon like it's a lollipop.
I mean, that's what I do. Sometimes back when I was like in college, I didn't have time to eat actual meals, okay? So I mixed a jar of peanut butter with protein powder. And I wrote in Sharpie, do not use on sandwiches. This is property of silver. And everybody in the house knew what it was, because then I'd take spoons, stick them on a sheet pan, stick them in the freezer, and then run out the door with one. Because it's like, yum.
Yum. Red Robins. So I remember this post, and it's on the same subject as peanut butter. But I remember reading this post where it's like it was a repost of an am I the asshole kind of thing, like a screenshot. And the story basically goes like, am I the asshole for putting my dick in the peanut butter. Have you heard that story?
Mm-hmm.
And so for anyone who's listening in who doesn't know the story, the short story of this is basically this guy is in a roommate situation with like 2 or 3 other dudes. They each have a shelf in the fridge and in the pantry that has their names on it, that is especially for them. He's never had an issue with any of the other guys ever touching his food without permission before, so he never worried about that. So he had a brand new jar of peanut butter, and him and his girlfriend got freaky one night. He stuck his penis in the jar. She had her fun. He put the jar back in the pantry to deal with it later.
Oh
And
no.
on the next day, he comes out into the living room, and one of the roommates is like, "Oh, hey, I used some of your peanut butter. Hope that's cool." And he's like, "Wait, please tell me you didn't use the peanut butter." And he's like, "Yeah, why?" He's never had issues where any of the other guys have ever touched his shit before asking. So this is a first for him. And he had to explain that he stuck his penis in it, and the roommate's pissed at him. So because there's like 4 of them, they were split down the middle. Like two of them were like, "Dude, that's messed up. You shouldn't have put that in the pantry. You should have kept it in your room." And him and one other roommate were like, "It's not my fucking fault. You're the one who decided to eat my penis butter. Like, how did you not know that there was a hole sitting in there?" And I gotta think, can you imagine going into people's homes, being invited in by your friends, your family, whatever, and there's just some object that's like in their pantry, in their fridge, and you don't know it's been fucked with, and you've either touched it, investigated it, thought about eating it, or actually ate it, and they have to sit there and hold their tongue, or else they'll possibly lose your trust in them forever. Like, imagine, Silver, you've gone over to a friend's house and you're like, "Oh man, there's a cucumber here that looks delicious." But what you don't know is that friend of yours does not eat cucumbers. And you're like, "I'm gonna put this on our salads for dinner that we're making together." And your friend's like looking at it and you go, "Where did she get the cucumber?" And you're like, "From your fridge." And they had to sit there and ingrain the idea that they cannot confess to you what they've done carnally to that cucumber.
To be fair, because of the penis, I don't trust certain items when I go over people's houses.
You're like, "Hey, that watermelon's got a weird ass hole in it. I don't think I want watermelon."
Oh, I'm just like, I see some things and it's like, you know, I'd rather not. Yes, just for my like own mind's sake. Cause it's just funny.
Would you trust certain objects in a friend's house more or a family house more? Like, so we'll just pretend like the peanut butter thing, right? And you open a jar of peanut butter thinking, "Oh, I'm just gonna have me a quick like sandwich," but you see a hole. And like it's suggestive, but it's not entirely possible that it was a penis that was inserted into that area. But would you trust more from a family member or more from a friend?
See, I might trust my friend.
Okay.
Because if I'm visiting a family member, say there was a cucumber thing, and that family member's like biologically related to me. That's a little disturbing thoughts. And it's just like, half that DNA kind of resembles my own DNA. And that is like in somewhere or on something I don't wanna, because that would just be weird. At least with a friend, then I know I'm like, it's not my DNA.
Mm-hmm. Also, I gotta say, large lad, if anyone came to me and said, "Hey, that was inside me," I would not appreciate that. But if they went, "Hey, I'm saving that or hey,
I
can you not
wouldn't.
eat that? I'd be like, yeah, cool, whatever. And I would not immediately think this was in their body carnally.
Yeah, if
This
somebody
one
came up,
me.
I don't think I'd really appreciate the part thing, like, oh, thanks. That'd just be, like, concerning? I'd look at it, hold it in my hand, I'd drop it, walk over to the sink, or maybe an oven, place my hands on the burner, and call it a good day.
Man, if I found out Silver shoved a cucumber up in herself in a carnal passion, I would never look at her the same or a cucumber near her the same. But if she went, hey, I'm saving that cucumber for another meal, I'd be like, oh damn, good for you, Silver, living healthy. And then I would never have to know what she has done to that cucumber. I would not have to know that she dressed it up in a little skirt and a little tutu and put makeup on it and took it out on a dinner date. I would not have to know. Silver, what you and that cucumber do together is not my business.
You know, I'm never gonna look at my workstation the same ever again. Because, like, we make the joke, because in the restaurant business, like, you have to date things. So, we have date stickers, like, Monday through Friday, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And we make the joke all the time of, oh, you taking it out on a date now? Nope, I'm never gonna look at those. I'm never gonna say that again.
Oh, if you like it so much, why don't you take it on a date? And you're just looking at the person eating a cucumber and they're like, what?
My brain is gonna be like, cursed thought in a box for next month.
Alright. Let's do a micro fun little game for ourselves.
Micro game. Yeah. What we
So
play?
we'll ask chat to pick out like a word, an object, a sentence for us.
Yeah.
It could be the same thing, it could be a different thing for us, but we have to like see the thing that they select, and then we have to make a curse thought off of it.
You know,
So
I
it's
should
kind
have
of
did
like,
a. Ooh, hold on.
huh?
I have an idea.
Yeah.
Hold on. I gotta get to my Google real quick. Here we go. There we go. Error. There we go. I made a little curse redeem.
Oh, I think I have one of those at on my stream. It's like curse thought, and it's like basically just give me a word and I'll make a curse thought off of it.
Yeah. I just made it one single point.
One coiny.
One
All right,
coin.
everybody.
If you need
Redeem
to
the curse thought.
redeem the
Make it
curse
a
thought.
word. Make it a word. Make it a sentence. Make it an object or a place or something. Noun, a vowel. Pick your thing.
Give us your curseness. We want to
And
hear.
have me and Silver just fuck y'all's nights up.
Yeah.
I know some of y'all are here. Y'all can do it.
Come on. Give me your best thing. I want to get cursed. Well, I guess we're already cursed. I just want to have more thoughts.
Come on, Komodo. You can join the join the fun.
Come on, Komodo. Redeem that button. Give us a word. Give us a sentence. Chat. I know you guys are here. Let's see what the dice have rolled.
While they're thinking up their thingies, let me through my curse list and see if there's any new ones I can add in.
So I was looking over because when I opened up Google, I was on somebody's stream.
Mm-hmm.
And it was an ad playing.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just like one of those random, why am I getting this kind of ad?
Right.
It was a pull-up commercial. I'm just wondering, like, staring at it, like, why are they advertising on Twitter pull-ups?
They think you're pregnant?
I'm just like, randomly just like, why pull-ups? Out of like all the thousands of commercials, tens of millions, pull-ups. Is it because they think gamers don't actually use the restroom? And they like just shit and piss themselves right there?
Well, you know.
I mean, I can't speak for all gamers. Some do go the extreme. Come on, Thorn, give us the curse.
Come on, Komodo. You know you wanna.
Din and Lad, I know you're here.
Sen said vehemently that they would not.
Come on, chat. Curse thoughts.
Y'all can do it. I know you wanna.
The duck is dwittying. That's so cute. I want a dwitty emote. Little Silver doing a dwitty. I'm staring at the like strawberry shortcake with the cat face, and I'm like, you know, this just reminds me of Sausage Party. What if that cat face
That movie
cake-
sucked.
It really did, but it just gave me weird thoughts about like, I wonder if the drink I'm drinking right now is actually like, oh my god, is this what heaven? Ah!
That's kind of like the thoughts I have when it comes to like my stuffed animals. Is like Toy Story bullshit. Like, am I just gonna one day like think they're gonna revolt against my ass?
That is a mood felt. Like, so, do you know the really old TV show Elk? ALF.
What was it on?
It was on like some really old TV show. It's like on Me TV. Champlin Team's Rain.
You said ALF?
Yeah, Elf.
Off? Oh, I never watched it, but yeah, I know the character.
Growing up in my house, we had
Right.
a like doll. It was my father's.
Right.
That thing would end up moving because my father would mess with me
Oh.
at night. Like, it'd be in the living room in the morning.
It's like instead of Elf on the Shelf, it's Off in the Hall.
Yeah, and that thing he had the limited edition, which was, because it comes with black eyes, just normal. The limited edition was glowing red eyes.
What? Who thought that was a fun idea?
I don't know! But like, here I am, 5 years old, walking down these flights of stairs at 1 a.m. in the morning, and I look up, and you see these beady red eyes staring at you. Guess who got woken up at like 1 a.m. in the morning every day? Like
That's the kind of shit that would like traumatize me for so long.
like that was one time I screamed bloody murder so loud the whole neighborhood woke up and the cops were called. At that moment of time, they're like, "Sir, we're gonna have to ask you if this happens again to remove that object from your house. That is a public health hazard."
Like, oh my god. The way it would make it worse is if you were like, say you slept on the second floor and he suspended that motherfucker outside the window and the light would just like reflect off it so you would see its shadow. And as a child, you're like, what is that? And
Oh,
You just go over, open the window, and that motherfucker's just like hanging there.
Oh, it got bad on. So I have sliding glass doors when I was a kid in the house.
Okay.
So during thunderstorms, when the power went out, like late at night, and you see the
Right.
crack of lightning hit down in front of your house, and your whole area lights up for a moment, like in the horror movies, it was like Chucky, but with Elf.
Your dad was mean as shit.
And then I wonder, maybe this is where I get my cursed thoughts.
Mean as shit.
I mean, growing up, horror things were bedtime movies. Maybe that's why I'm so messed up.
I would watch so much horror growing up. Like, I was watching the Sci-Fi Channel back before they, like, really censored horror movies.
Freddy vs. Jason at the age of 3.
Oh man, the biggest ones for me were like Hostel and Jeepers Creepers.
See, I wish I saw Jeepers Creepers before I saw Freddy, Jason, Saw, Jigsaw, kind of thing.
I feel like if you watched it when you were younger, it would have had a bigger impact on you than it would nowadays. But back then, like Jeepers Creepers, like one of those movies that like freaked me out. But not like in a bad way. It was just like, ooh shit, I hope this never happens to me.
Yeah. Like, do you know the Freddy song?
1, 2, skip a Lou, 3, 4.
1, 2,
Yeah.
Freddy's coming for you. 3, 4, better lock that door. 5, 6, grab your crucifix. 7, 8, better stay awake. 9, 10, never sleep again.
Yeah.
That was my lullaby. My father used to sing to me.
Alright, I'm gonna go run to the bathroom real quick.
Yeah. I'm gonna think about on this rain now.
Yeah. So while I go to the bathroom, you can think on the rain and all that. I'll be right back.
Okay. I just realized I could wiggle share around, guys. Share around, ready? Wiggle, 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 wiggle. Doesn't really wiggle, but she moves. Rain. Kat, what do you think of when you think of rain? I can think of several wonderful thoughts. Rain. Kinda reminds me of my random cursed thought that I had the other day. Clouds. Clouds and rain. Rain and clouds. There. Sweetie duck. Sweetie duck. I wonder. I want to drink like. Nom 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 nom. Yum 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 yum. First, with dude, chat. What if it's just like falling backwards? Be weird. Also, are you actually wet if you skip water on you? That's something that's always baffled my brain. Are you actually wet if you're submerged in water? Or are you just thinking you're wet because you're told the water's wet? So are your clothes actually wet if you come out of the water? Just like, huh. Like, what is water? What are these thoughts? Huh. Like, if water is wet, and wet makes other things wet, are you... Now my brain's gonna be stuck on that pondering thought. Huh. Come on, chat. Give us those funny thoughts. Give us those random curseness. Let's see what it's done. Yeah, man. I know you want to. Wanna know how I know? Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Curse thoughts are fun. Release your inner beast. Show us your inner thoughts. Oh. What is... Kat, what is your favorite part so far of today? Like, if you could name one thing of today... No, like, in general, like, what is your favorite part that happened today? Like, did you have a good day? Did you have a bad day? What happened? I want to know, chat. Tell me how your day was. What was your favorite part?
Getting fucking home is my favorite part.
Welcome back.
You best believe getting home was my favorite part of it all.
Nice. I think my favorite part of my day is being able to share cursed thoughts.
That's pretty good.
Because it's like, I had an okay day at work. Because it's like, you know, some days it's bad, some days... Today, I was just like, today's gonna be a good day. I woke up and I was like, yeah, today's gonna be a great day. And then I got home and I was like, cursed thoughts, cursed thoughts, cursed thoughts.
Dude, today wasn't bad. It was just so ungodly long. It was like, I looked at the clock thinking, oh man, it's gotta be like 4 o'clock. And it's like, dumbass, it's 2:15. I'm like, oh, this is gonna hurt today. I had to schedule an appointment with a teacher that everyone has problems with. I'm scared to talk to him about it. Ew.
That's no fun. Sometimes that's no fun at all. Sometimes you gotta do it. And sometimes it's kind of like the spider theory. Sometimes the teacher is more afraid of you than you are of them.
Not true.
I mean, I did have a teacher who was like, wanted to become a teacher, but he had a phobia of children.
What?
Like, he loved teaching people things, but like teaching adults, but he didn't want to work with adults because adults are like, I know this. But so he became a high school teacher and then realized after a year of teaching teenagers are scary.
I mean, they're like hormonal bastards, yeah.
Yeah. So he was more afraid of the students, like, doing something than of, like, the parents doing something. Which was, I just thought he was a funny dude. I was like, you're scared of me. And he goes, yeah. I was like, okay. And I just walked by. Like, you have a good day. Really funny teacher.
Back in high school, I used to be in orchestra, and my orchestra teacher has a friend, and he's easily in his 50s, but he has a friend who refuses to learn how to drive, and he will get driven everywhere. And I remember thinking, I couldn't live my life like that. I can't live my life being driven everywhere and waiting for someone else to be able to drive me somewhere. Like, and this is before like Uber and all that was like a thing. This is back when taxis were the only way around.
Oof.
Bella! So did you ever have a cursed thought about rain?
I did.
Ooh, I'm excited.
So, I was just like, talking about my theory on the whole, if you're wet, are you actually wet? But then it's like, what if the rain, this goes with my cursed thought about gravity. Okay. But what if we're actually standing on the ceiling and the ceiling's actually the floor? So what if technically, like, the rain is just, like, falling up instead of falling down? And we're not actually getting wet. And it's like, what if the whole theory is just what we were told? Because I was told it was I'm wet, I must be wet.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not actually wet. It's just an optical illusion. And then that goes with my theory of clouds. Because clouds are white, but water is clear. So the clouds shouldn't exist technically. And then gray clouds are just polluted water, which makes sense. But it's still just water shouldn't be the way it is. Because I shouldn't be wet if I'm fully submerged beneath it. It's just a weird type of oxygen I can't breathe.
Okay. My cursed thought of rain would be, what if rain, you know how rain nourishes plants and helps plants grow because they need, sunlight and sunlight and water to grow, right?
Mm-hmm.
So as humans, we naturally need so much sunlight anyways. It's like the serotonin of our bodies. It's just something that helps us stay healthy and grow. But the idea is that as a child, you naturally grow based on the nutrients you receive from things like food and etc. But what if it wasn't really the food that gave us nutrients that helped us grow, but the rain? So essentially, parents are waiting on pins and needles for the rain to happen to throw their child out into the rain. Be like, all right, sweetie, don't get hypothermia, but sit out there for half an hour. And that's just like how a child has to be like raised nowadays, is just being sat out in the rain. And there's always these scientists trying to create artificial rain clouds to help certain areas of the world that cannot like commonly rain do it. So like, or like, there's now bottled rainwater so you can give it to your kid. There's the new fix of like rainwater showers. Grow to your healthy height and don't do any more than that. Like the monopoly on just rainwater to help someone grow.
That's hilarious. It is interesting. Imagine snow. Okay, child. Eat you butt naked into the snow.
It's like
Come
instead
out
of
10
like
feet taller.
it's like instead of like rubbing lotion into the skin, it's just dumping them in the snow for the whole body effect.
Use in small amounts. Do not use all at once. Throws a small child into the snow. They come out as full-grown man.
Oh my gracious.
I don't think we said Komodo.
Oh no, you probably heard something that sounded like your name, but it wasn't.
I was like, we were just talking about throwing people into the rain. You might be, dude.
So speaking of growing, I had a cursed thought that I told them once where it was like height is a choice. And it was basically, what if you lived in a society where your body's naturally gained or lost height based on how long you sat/stood up or laid down? So you stand up, you lose so much amount of like height based on like the amount of time you were standing or sitting up. And the same thing for when you're laying down. Laying down will gain you so much height over time. So like say for example you're 5'3" and you go to bed and then you wake up and you're too tall to work out, well, just stand around for a while and hopefully you'll get a little shorter. Or people who are standing when they're asleep just so they can lose some height. And so they just have these like beds that'll just slowly tilt over time that will just keep you laid down and then eventually stand you up just to keep you in that same ratio of height so you never have to like never have to lose it too much, but there's always built-in lay down breaks at work now, so like people are able to go lay down for like half an hour to regain some height that they lost while working at like a grocery store or a desk
That
job.
would be great. I'm already small, and it's like I would be able to reach the tall shelves then.
Like, imagine you wake up and you're like 6 feet tall, but by the time you finish your fucking job, you're like 4'2", and you're like, I can't even reach the pedals! And you have to lay down for an hour with your
I
arms
can't
crossed,
get
hoping
in
to gain
my
enough height.
car. I'm too short. Somebody throw me in my trunk. That'd be great. Ooh. That kind of reminds me of like Life Size.
Oh yeah, the movie with the Cinderella.
No, it's Barbie. Yeah, the Barbie
Yeah,
doll
that's it.
comes to life. I just thought it'd be funny. Like, one day, you wake up, you're so tall, by the end of the job, you're like Barbie height, and you run to your car, and you're like, let me in, and your purse is way too big, so you're trying to throw in, like, open it up, and you're digging through it as a little Barbie.
Oh my gracious. Imagine how like that would fuck up with your like. So imagine like you're bedridden because of surgery or something, and you constantly just have to keep getting like tilted in your bed just so you can lose some height.
Dude, infants. We'd have a massive baby issue.
You put your baby down for a nap, you conk out for 8 hours, you come back freaking out, and your baby's like 5 feet tall.
Or it's like your baby's been asleep for like 10 hours, you wake up and then half your house is missing. Jumbo baby.
Oh my god. Oh, would that include dead bodies like that are just in the ground? Would they just slowly grow or would they stop growing because they're like no longer alive?
I mean, depends on the decayness, I guess. And the way they are buried.
Would that lead to reason about cannibalism that you could just grow a human for so long, make them so tall that people don't run out of food and they can just cannibalize?
You know, it would be fresh jerky every day.
It'd be fresh something.
But yeah, you like think about it. Like some lay their caskets horizontal, and some lay them vertically to try to like save room in the ground. And
Yeah.
it's just like, huh? Depending on like the decayness of the body, because I was at a weirdly enough I was at a morgue once, and they were talking about how caskets nowadays are like titanium military grade, and nothing will penetrate it. And it's like, that's disturbing. Open
Yeah, I'm getting cremated.
open a casket up after like 300 years, the body's still there.
Oh, it's like
That smell.
it's a time capsule.
Oh my god, the smell. Oh, that would smell rank.
Even though the things won't be able to penetrate it very easily, your body still technically would decay based on the chemicals and etc. in your body.
But
That by
like
the
all the
time they would
pillows and
extract you-
stuff.
Yeah, but luckily by the time they would extract you, a lot of that bad smell, like we'll just pretend like in 20 years, a lot of that bad smell would dissipate, and it would be for a brief second you'd be like, oh shit, that's a dead body, but overall you'd be dusty.
You know, I have one request. Bury me with a bottle of perfume.
Well, hey, perfumes become rancid.
I mean, but at least then I know I smell good in the afterlife. Bury me
Just
like
have
a
like a little Febreze
spoon.
thing in there that just senses, and like every hour just sends off a little psst.
Yeah, like, dude, send me away like the pharaohs back then.
Oh, just put a Febreze like in one of those compartments inside the casket, so that when someone pulls you up, there's like a pull this tab and it opens up like a Febreze thing, and you just start.
Oh. So
Oh.
speaking about dead bodies and stuff, my friend's father had a good sense of humor.
Mhm.
He's like, do me a favor. Cut off my middle fingers and cremate that single part. And I want you to wear it as a necklace. That way you can say, I'm still flipping people off from hell.
Okay, so basically he wants his whole body cremated, excluding his middle fingers.
No. He wants his whole body buried. Minus his middle fingers.
Okay, so I got sad news because I found this out.
Oh, no, yeah.
Cremators will not cremate just small pieces. They have to cremate the whole body. So they're gonna have to take that out back home and cremate him old school.
What you doing out there? It smells like burning flesh. Yeah, that's because it is.
We're
What?
just barbecuing really, really hard.
You know, I think you just got your nose cauterized. That's what you're smelling. Roll somebody into
Oh.
thinking they did something without them actually doing it. Go really hard, girl boss gatekeep.
Can you imagine if like we as humans had the ability to make our eyes glow? So like you could use them as like flashlights at night.
That? You mean like cats?
So cats' eyes actually don't glow in the dark. So what it is it's a reflection of some of the eye layers that a cat has, that when a light hits it a certain way, it just naturally reflects, and that's what helps them see at night. I'm talking about legit glowing. Like
Oh.
like you know those glowfish in the very, very deep part of the sea where they have that like, that little bulb that like attracts fish, and it's just like a little glow thing?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm talking about that kind of glow, but just in your eyeballs. So you just think about it, and your eyes are like, I activate light beams.
You know, that reminds me of a different topic, but that seems very interesting. Like, I want my eyes glowed today. Clicks eyes twice, blink, blink.
Clap off. Clap off.
Imagine you're talking to somebody and you blink twice by accident because your eye itch, and your eyes just start glowing.
They're just like, ah.
What the fuck happened to your eyes? Oh right, I had special surgery happen. Now every time I blink twice, my eyes glow.
The genie cursed me with glow dots. Light bright eyes.
Light bright, light bright.
And I always wanted light bright.
My parents rode away one day after they got me a light bright.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What did you do?
I made a sign around the
You
house
yourself.
in a light bright one day.
Uh-huh.
Cause I convinced for my birthday once I wanted a light bright, and I told everybody that. So they all showed up with like a big box. So I had like 9 light brights. Yeah. Yeah, don't give me that much power ever again. You know those.
Oh.
So I did something funny because I had 9 of them. I made a person
Oh my gracious.
out of light brights.
I mean,
And-
that's creative.
It really is. And the funny part is I taped a black sheet in a half a circle around the mouth. And I'm smart enough as a child. I knew how to turn the circuit breakers off in the house. So all
Instead of
this
just going around flipping switches, she's like, I'm gonna take the light away from all of you.
No, I did because it was right around Halloween I was doing this.
This girl over here literally trying to cause a haunted house moment.
So my parents had gone out for like a dinner and everything.
Oh
And
my god,
so
did
I
you give them heart attacks?
kinda.
Oh my god.
So the power's out, okay? Everything but the living room power. Where I
Yeah, the
have
power's
9 light brights plugged in.
Oh my god.
And I'm the idiot who's doing this to their parents, okay?
At the time, I bet you thought you were super smart.
Oh, I was hella intelligent. And so I made it so the mouth was open 24/7, but with the black piece of paper that matched the background of the light bright, I could make him talk. This is like post open mouth PNG kind of spooky tech shit.
Everyone listening in, this is the kind of shit that you would see on Home's Funniest Videos.
And it was great because my parents walked in and I decked this out. Oh, hi, Fox! I like took one of my Halloween wigs, my father's shirt, his pants, and they were not his good pants or good shirt, but I put holes in them. Put holes in the fucking shirts to match the light bright holes. This is how you get a 2-month rounding.
2 months!
2 months I was grounded
They-
for this. Because
They
my
really said wait till Christmas.
they thought a human actually had broken in like this weird glowing suit. Who was talking to him? And it's just like, first things out of my father's mouth to my mother was, I'm proud that she managed to go down to the circuit breaker and shut everything off but the living room. She actually remembered her lesson about electronics.
So, like, while we are impressed at the achievements you made doing that, we are also disappointed that you used the power against us.
Yeah, my mom was not too happy. They were also slightly drunk, so I'm betting that image was a lot more realistic than I thought it would be.
They're sitting there thinking they just shot their fucking pants, girl.
You
She
know,
was getting parents fucking heart attacks.
I was a curious little tyke.
A curious little tyke.
I'm the type of person you really shouldn't be left unattended. I get into a lot of trouble.
I can believe that. I think I got one more good curse thought in me before I gotta go to take a shower.
Yeah.
Have you had any that were like real good ones that like really rubbed thorns off their stem?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Too many to count. Oh god. I just looked over to my Discord and Komodo DM'd me.
He tell you to shut up too?
I don't know. The message is now gone.
Man was like, backtrack.
Backtracked. I think I said that to the wrong human. So what is your extremely cursed thought?
Your special walk is what I named it. It's what if everyone had a different kind of walk or a gait? So, yeah, normal pace that we all do. Yeah, that could be some of us. But imagine if lunging was your version of a walking, or like crab walking, or skipping, or tiptoeing was your version of walking, and everyone had that kind of like specific walk in their daily life. So maybe someone runs for their version of a walk, and a walk is them running, and running is them walking. And imagine like how strong some people's legs would be, or like how good someone's core body would be. So like Tommy has a crab skitter walk, but his spouse Sam has a one hop skip walk, and they just have to live like that. They have to figure out how to pace each other, just like that,
Damn.
forever.
That's fascinating.
Like,
Imagine that.
like Silver, just think about it. Think about the fact that maybe one day you just have to make a certain kind of walk your walk. Like maybe when you're 5 years old, it's the day that you have to decide what's your kind of walk. And you're like, Mommy, I think I want to do hopscotch. And she's like, Sweetie, don't do that. But it's too late. You've made your decision. You now must hopscotch for the rest of your life as walking.
Damn. Holy crap. That'd be great. Although I feel like I'd be stuck in military walk all the time.
Oh, where they drop down really low?
No, so when I learned how to walk, since I come from like partially of a military family, it's lift, right lift.
Yeah, it's the march.
Yeah, so if you ended up starting on your right foot, you had to skip to fix your step until you got caught up to speed. So it would be like you're walking normally, like military walk, and then you fuck it up slightly. So then you're just skipping until you catch up to fix your stepping. And
That's your new walk.
it's like not even like normal skipping too, because you have to step with your left foot every time and just skip until you match the beat. And I'm just like, I would have the weirdest fucking walk ever.
Yeah, it would suck. I would imagine I would end up accidentally doing lunges for my version of the walk. Imagine trying to get downstairs. Shit.
You would fall.
You wouldn't so well either. You'd skip a step.
I would skip a step. I wouldn't be able to. I'm building an elevator tonight. Or I'm just sliding down face first. Belly
They're like, man,
flop.
you okay? And you just put a thumbs up, like,
We're
yeah.
good. Oh, that's great. So, I think my top cringy thought that made Thorn want to just like yeet me out of our workplace was like my brain had been out of it because it was just like one of those days where I was just zoning so hard. And it goes with my weird gravity thought I said a little earlier.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just like, what if there's actually no gravity whatsoever? And we're just on the ceiling. And we're technically walking upside down. But because everybody's doing it, we see it as normal. But technically, right now, I'm sitting upside down.
Mm-hmm.
So everything is flipped. And this is just a weird optical illusion we are trying to figure out and call it like normal. But
The upside downs.
yeah, the upside downs. And it's like, if somebody happens to be walking on the ceiling, that like is walking, even though we're on the ceiling, but they're on like the floor and they're walking like that, that would be so like unnormal since we're already upside down. And it's just like, you go outside and the sky is actually the ground and the ground is the sky, and everything we're doing is just like backwards. And it's like, we ourselves are slightly speaking backwards as well. Well, we're all speaking backwards, so it seems normal. But it's gibberish right now. So if you said
But
like...
how is it? Can it really be gibberish if it's normal?
Exactly. So technically, this sign up here, it's backwards. So it's supposed to be like, hiss, come, oh. But that's gibberish because I'm saying it normal. Because I'm supposed to read it the way it's is, but apparently that's just backwards.
And the only way it ever fixes itself is on backwards day, and that's it.
Uh-huh. But we never know when backwards day is. We can never fix ourselves. Lord wanted to get out of the building because of that.
To make it very quick and simple, I once had a cursed thought where I was like, what if our iron levels in our body was what keeps us on the ground? So basically, if you have low iron, you kind of float, and you cannot even possibly float out of the planet because your iron's so low. And people who have good, strong iron in their blood usually stay very grounded and pretty much to the ground at all times. And so, your friends with anemia, keep an eye on them.
Mood. High core mood. That'd be so cursed. Oh, why are you so pale? I have anemia.
Why are you floating, sweetie?
Can you tie this hose around your hip for me, please?
This is like some Willow bullshit going to the fans shit.
Oh, hell yeah.
You're just sleeping in your bed and you just have low iron deficiency randomly and you just start floating out of the bed like you're possessed.
You know, I would fear about that in my house. I have 2 ceiling fans.
Oh, you're gonna feel it.
I'm gonna be losing a limb or 2.
That's when people start putting nets over their beds.
Maybe that's why people sleep with weighted blankets.
Keep yourself weighted down.
Yeah. You can't fly away if you're weighted down.
Well, it was fun. This was a lot of fun.
Yeah. We're gonna do this like what, once a month?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that'd be enough time to think up a few more.
Yeah. We'll just try to like schedule it randomly whenever
Yeah.
we feel like. Once a month.
We everybody's had a little more.
Hell yeah. Now the question is, who do we want to raid?
What are the options?
We have Axolotl, who's doing his sticker work. We have Memory Randori, who is playing Forklift. We have another one of my friends who is playing the Blind of Icarus.
I would say whoever you've not recently rated, like Like, for example, if you've rated one person 3 times in the past month, and one person not at all in the past, like, 3 months, I would say go for the person least.
I was like, I don't know, because I hadn't rated anybody in roughly a week. Because I was sick last week. But I was not alive. The only person so far on my feed is, Sin.
I don't know.
You know what? Let's raid a funny hatter because there's a bug with her. And I like bugs after our nice bugs.
Beautiful.
Bless you.
Thank you.
I was like, I'm not sure if that was a sneeze or not.
It was sneeze.
Okay.
Man, I feel so sleepy right now. But I know as soon as I get in that shower to like wash up, my brain's gonna be like, I'm a
Mood. I have like the best thoughts in the shower.
oh my gosh. So good. Oh, I got that.
Raid. So copy and paste the first raid message. You guys are subscribed. Copy and paste the second raid message. If you are not, we are gonna raid the Memory Randori. He is with the Choroboros of the bugs. Thank you all for coming to our very first Curse Thought stream. It was fun. I can't wait for more of this.
Everyone deserves a little cursed in their life.
Yes.
Moto doesn't agree, but you know. Who's he to
Yeah,
say
who are they to tell us no?
I'm gonna curse him forever.
Emma just ended stream by accident. Our internet might have just died. Hold on. Oh.
That's the worst too, you know?
Oh. Hold on. Can't read memo. There's no stream. Hold on, chat. Technical difficulties on people we're trying to raid. Okay, well, I guess we'll raid Axolotl then.
Congrats, Axolotl, you're the grand prize!
Here we go. We'll raid Axel. Did it work or did it not work? I don't think it worked. Hold on, I'm having some scuffy moments. They're all still here. Hold on.
You're all our prisoner now.
I'm forgetting how OBS works. Send help. There we go. I think I got it. Yeah, there we go. I got it. Haha! I fixed it!
She did it.
I did it! Okay. So, copy and paste the raid message. I'll see you guys tomorrow for a Throwback Wednesday. I'm gonna do some Sly Cooper. Oh, wait. Yeah. Yeah, I'm doing Sly Cooper. Hold on, sorry. I have some stuff this week and my brain was like, wait, is that tomorrow or Thursday? It's Thursday. Thursday I might do a weird early stream. I might, or I might not stream and then stream Friday. But yeah, I'll see you guys then. I hope you all have a wonderful time.
Toodaloo, motherfucker.
Bye, chat.